see you all here tonight. As Patrice said, I will tell my little story of how I got into slam poetry, because it's kind of a funny story. So she said she really identified with it a lot, which is very heartwarming to hear. The way that I got into slam poetry, I always like to say, starts with when I was in the 3rd grade, and I had a teacher tell me, you know, Bethany, you're just not very good at poetry. And I was really devastated and horrified, and I never wrote another poem again. I completely cut it out of my life. I thought it was just an awful thing, and I couldn't do it. And so while everyone else was going through their very emotional middle school age, and they were writing poems in their notebooks all the time, I was not. For that matter, I criticized all of my friends horribly, and I owed them all apologies, because I hated poetry so much. It got to the point where in junior year of high school, there was this poetry slam that was being put on by my local community college. And my friends, thinking they were really funny, signed me up as a competitor in this. So being the little sassy teenager that I was, I kind of thought, well, I'm going to stick it to them. And I wrote a poem that night, not having any idea at all what slam poetry was, nor, you know, the belief that I could do it. I just kind of threw emotions onto a page in a very angry kind of a way. And I showed up the next morning and I told my teacher, I'm going to do it. I wrote a poem. It's all ready. I'm going to compete. And her face just fell, and she said, Bethany, it's a tournament. You need 3 poems to compete. And so I wrote a 2nd poem that day between classes. I wrote a 3rd poem at the event between rounds, and I won the whole damn thing. So if a little girl in 3rd grade who was told she was not very good at poetry and lived almost her entire life thinking she was not very good at poetry can get up in front of an entire room of strangers and perform slam poetry, you can too. Anyone can. So the first poem that I have in going along with the fashion that I've always learned, I wrote today. So forgive me if it's a little rough, but this poem is called Now. For the purpose of this poem, I'm actually going to ask everyone in this room here tonight to please stand up. All right, now, be seated. Be still. Put away all tablets, laptops, digital recording devices, audio recording devices, cameras, brick phones, smartphones, broken phones, headphones, earphones, MP3s, Bluetooth headphones, sync devices, smartwatches, anything that is not organically attached to your physical being. Put away. And be still. Now, be creative. Tell me a story. Slam me a poem. Paint me a world. Be creative. Now, be expressive. Emit me a moan. Unrepress me a cry. Fuck me a swear word. Be expressive. Now, be fast. Run me some fun puns, grind me some prime rhymes, chime in time to stop in a dime, steal me some similes like metaphors, allocate alliteration in me. Be fast. Now, be loud. Eat me a microphone, break me a decibel, shatter me an expectation of how loud your thoughts can go and how deeply their voluminous echoes can pierce our insides. Be loud. My friends, I was not made for the sit down and shut up lifestyle. I was not made for the sit down and shut up lifestyle. I was not made to balance my life in a chair with my elbows propped up, with my behemoths tucked carefully down between my still feet. Because when I sit, my feet kick, and I shake, and my dancing feet will undoubtedly knock it over for all of me to spill out onto the floor. Now, be creative. Now, put it away and focus instead. Now, be expressive. Now, dial it down and finish your work. Now, be fast. Now, take a break and cut back on caffeine. Now, be loud. Now, set yourself on silent because the person with the doctorate is speaking. Now, be creative. Now, execute the problem to arrive at the singular conclusion in the book. Now, be expressive. Now, acquiesce according to the formatted guidelines on the formerly known D2L, broken up by each group member's contribution and graded by a random jury of your peers. Now, be loud. Now, stuff your eager hand that is up in the air, Hermione Granger fashion, down your throat until the answer learns to catch itself in your Now, can you be creative? Can you awe me the same with images drawn simply from a smattering of words? Can you silence me the same with the glossy far-off stare of someone brewing an entire universe behind their eyes? Can you move me the same out of my seat and into the night with the fire blazing hot enough to shock the masses into your flock? If you yourself aren't moving, please rise from your seats as you feel the creativity rising within you like a helium pocket, like an uncontrollable lava flow, which when it erupts will exponentially change the face of this earth forever. Please cover us with the violent spew of your innovative ash and stain our skin with your influence. Please unstick your asses from your chairs like gum from the pavement, and do not dare allow yourselves to simply lie down and be ran over anymore. Now, tonight, now, I dare you to rise with the goosebumps on your arms. I dare you to rise above using period punctuations and remove them from your range of linear thoughts, never allowing the realizations you make here tonight to have end. And I dare you to be creative and expressive and fast and loud and free. Be open. Be anything, but just be.